Alright, so today we're going to talk about the working holiday jobs that I've done and how my working holiday experience has benefited me and some of the jobs that I've done on my working holiday here in Australia. This job here was when I came to Sydney. I ended up landing a work for accommodation job, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically where you work for your accommodation. I would work around 4 to 6 hours a day. Sometimes I would help clean the kitchen, sometimes I would help do some hospitality work, but mainly my job was a hostel angel, and that basically meant that I checked people's key cards. If you didn't have a key card after 10 p.m., you weren't getting in. Sorry for ya. But that's what I did, and yeah, so that was the first job that I did once I got into Sydney. Also done bar work where I've been a glassy, cleaned up glassies in a bar. I've also done carpet cleaning, and that was a very different job for me as well, because sometimes people's carpets are really nasty, so it was a grimy job, but I did it. I also sold sausages in the Domain for a music festival. Also posted an advert on Gumtree. People would contact me if they needed me to work, so I've cleaned out garages, cleaned out pools, cleaned people's houses, and different things like that, so there was always an amount of work for me to actually work. So after I did some of these small jobs, I decided that it was time for me to try to find something that was more stable of an income, and I ended up contacting an agency. And there's several agencies that you can contact through Randstad, Adecco. There's plenty of different ones that you can, depending on what kind of job and what type of work you're looking for, you can go to these agencies and look on their websites online and see what kind of job openings that they do have. I happened to luck up and I went with Randstad, and I ended up doing a 3-month contract work with Jetstar. So how cool was that? Like I honestly, I worked in the airport for 3 months. It was really fun. I had a lot of fun doing those jobs. And you know, basically my job at Jetstar was to make sure that people could get their tickets, because it's 2016 and there's still a lot of people who do not understand the technology, and they need help at the kiosk getting their tickets and getting through the gates and getting to their flight. So my job at Jetstar was a lot of fun. I was like the face of Jetstar, especially with the customer service side of things and helping people and individuals with their bags and stuff like that. I had a lot of fun doing that job, and it was so much fun, and also it gave me an experience. I can actually say that I came to Australia and worked for Jetstar. I worked in the airport at Sydney Kingsford Smith, and that is really cool to me. And I had a lot of fun in the airport. I met loads of people, and it was really cool because in that job I would see people coming and going that I had met on my travels as they were continuing their travel. So that was an awesome experience. I went through around a 3-week period after that job position ended, because it was only a short contract for 3 months. When that job ended, I didn't have any work, so I started relying back on the Gumtree adverts and just putting myself out there and trying to find something else. Luckily though, because I made such a good impression with Randstad, I was contacted by my agent, and she asked me if I would be interested in fulfilling a role working for the Registry of New South Wales of Births, Deaths and Marriages. In the beginning, I kind of thought, you know, I haven't really done admin work. I haven't really been the type of person that has really sat in an office. I've done customer service jobs and stuff like that, but I've also done a lot of laboring jobs, so I was looking more towards a laboring job at that moment in time. However, I was contacted by my agent, and that is when everything changed for me. So I accepted the job role, and I ended up spending 6 months working for the Registry of New South Wales Government of Births, Deaths and Marriages. And during those 6 months, I had such an amazing time. You know, it wasn't just the typical desk job. I was dealing with individuals and citizens of New South Wales on a day-to-day basis, and I've met some amazing people. The Australian people are so amazing, and just how they are, their sense of humor, I totally get on with it. And working for the registry, it was also really interesting because at the same time I was dealing with people who were mourning and going through the different motions of life, whether it be, you know, a loved one that had passed, or someone trying to find out who their parents are if they were adopted. I dealt with so many different variables. Each situation was completely different. There was no saying. With that being said, I also got to see the births and the children that were born and the families that were being started and people registering their children. I also got to see some pretty cool people getting married. There was this one time that I seen a marriage. I was actually doing overtime on a Saturday, and these Australians came in, and they were just dressed up as Indians and like with leather gear and stuff. Like, they were just all out. They were my kind of people. It was really cool. So yeah, I got to see some pretty cool things working with the registry. I got to see a peek into history that a lot of people don't get to see. I've got to see records from the convicts back into the 1800s and see this really peak of history that not a lot of people are gonna be able to actually see, as everything is confidential and things like that, so you can't just go looking, but they are public records. And it was really amazing to actually see that, and then also deal with people who were in search of their family history and doing lineage and finding out where they came from. It was such an amazing experience. I had such a wonderful time working for the registry of New South Wales. It was an amazing opportunity, and it was only because I said yes. In the beginning, I was nervous about it because I haven't done an admin job. I haven't worked at a desk job, but then it was more than what I thought it would be. I was interacting with the Australian people on a day-to-day basis, right in the forefront of it, and I brought my southern hospitality with it and my kind manners, and it really paid off, and I just enjoyed it so much. I had such a good time working for the registry. So those are some of the jobs that I've done while I was here in Australia. There's so many different types of jobs that you can get. One thing that I did do when I was in search for a job is that I had different CVs. So if you don't know what a CV is, then that's basically the same thing as a resume of what we call back home. We don't call it a CV, we call it a resume. When you are searching for your jobs, or in the event that I was searching for my jobs, I had different CVs for different positions. So I would have one CV that would have all of my laboring and all of that on one CV, and then I would have one that had my customer service and hospitality work on another. It's okay to have more than one CV. You want to mix it up, and you want to be able to take any kind of opportunity that you do get. I will say though that working in a bar atmosphere, you do need to have your RSA, which is a responsible alcohol license serving. With the RSA, it allows you to basically be able to make sure you don't overserve someone. I never served alcohol to someone. I just did basic bar work, mainly doing glassies, cleaning up after everyone that was having a good time. It was a wonderful environment for me to work in, and I had a lot of fun in that job as well. And so when you're searching for that kind of a job, or any type of job in general, you just have to have many options and be open-minded, because there's so many different jobs. Out of all of the jobs that I've done, the least favorite one would have to be the carpet cleaning, because it was just not really a fun job for me. However, I did meet some cool people. I got to go into people's houses over here in Australia, which was kind of cool, so you can kind of see what other people's vibes are. And there are some people who have some crazy vibes, but I have a crazy vibe as well, and my house is always kind of crazy. So, but that was my least favorite one. It was just a very nasty, grimy job, but I rolled my sleeves up, got right into it until I found something else. That's just how it was. It was a temporary position, which was luckily for me. And also I learned how to clean upholstery and clean carpets the correct way, and how to clean a couch. So that's a pretty cool thing from the things that I've gathered from my learning experiences. So those are the types of jobs that I've done on my working holiday, and guys, it's been so much fun. Australian wages are amazing as well. I was actually shocked to find out the amount of money that I was making. Not to boast or brag, but I did work on Easter Sunday at the airport, and all I did was hand out Easter eggs to the little kids that were upset and cranky, and I got paid double time and a half. I got paid $60 an hour on Easter Sunday to hand out Easter eggs. That's pretty good to me. So those are my jobs that I've done in Australia. I've had a lot of good times working in Australia. It's been really amazing, and I'm glad that I've had this opportunity. And I just wanted to share some of my life with you and the experiences that I've had working here. So I hope that that may help you and give you some inspiration if you want to go on a working holiday. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to follow around and wonder with me, please come wonder with me. I want to show you my life. I want to show you this world that I'm out here exploring. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Hit me up, all at Wondering Casey. There's a few links down below. Good stuff for you guys. Check me out. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. Peace.